guys. I figure I make GTA videos about Marvel stuff. So I'm about time I just give you my take on the Marvel movies, each phase, just so you guys know how I feel about each one. Alright, the first one we're going to start with is the first one that started it all, and that's Iron Man. Iron Man is like universally known as like one of the best Marvel movies now. Like, it's just crazy how the first one still holds up so good, and it's like still like in some people's eyes the best Marvel movie still that's coming out. And yeah, each phase one movie I can say right now is like really solid. All of them are like solid movies. None, like Iron Man is definitely the best one of them all. They're all pretty good, but like none of them really like extra stick out as much as Iron Man did, and Avengers. But yeah, next we have Incredible Hulk, and just this movie, like I enjoyed it overall. Like overall as a movie, I thought it was pretty good. People didn't really like take it that well. I don't know why. I can see maybe because it's the CGI. Because at the end of the day, a Hulk movie is just gonna end with a big CGI fight. Because nobody really wants to see Bruce Banner go one-on-one with somebody else. They want to see the Hulk like kick some ass. So like at the end of the day, no matter what, it's gonna be a big CGI fight at the end of every Hulk movie they have. So maybe that's the reason why people didn't like gravitate so like towards it so much. But I thought overall it was pretty good. Next we have Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 2 is the one that people were just kind of like, yay, when it first came out, everyone was like, fuck yeah, because just Iron Man was back. But then once you started to watch it over again, you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Why were the fights only like 5 minutes long? Like, really, like, each fight was like no more than 5 minutes, besides like maybe the ending chase with the fight. But like, besides that, if you take that away, I thought the movie was actually pretty good. It was funnier. It had like more character with Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark being a drunk and kind of being like a little slacker, and just like him having like Shield basically had to come like, yo, wake your ass up, man. Like seriously, like your boy kicked your ass and took your shit. Like that was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite parts right there. My Nick Fury just basically told him like, you let your best friend go into your house and take your suit. Like that, I like that. Like that's what the one thing that all the Iron Man movies definitely had was humor. And Sam Rockwell, I love Sam Rockwell. So him as in there as another villain was just I thought that was cool. Next movie we have is Thor. Thor, people don't give Thor like as much credit as it deserves, because like you're really going to a different world. Like before Guardians of the Galaxy, this was the only movie that like you were actually in a different world. Like for a majority of the movie, actually, yeah, for like most of the movie, you're in a different world, going back and forth. You're on Earth most of the time, but still, just the way like they did Asgard and somebody and like whoever did that, like they had like a lot of things to do in that movie. Bring Asgard to life, make everything look believable, special effects and everything like that. So I don't as just like as a cinematic universe movie, it definitely deserves more praise than it does get. But overall, I thought it was okay. It was an okay movie overall, though. Alright, next we have Captain America, the First Avenger. That is a pretty... I liked it. I definitely liked it. The way, like, everything, they did it, too. It wasn't... Like, that's the thing. All these phase 1 movies are nothing, like, too special. The only ones that people will say are, like, anything like, holy shit, like, wow, is Iron Man and then the Avengers. Like, Thor, Incredible Hulk, Captain America, and Iron Man 2 were all just kind of, they're pretty solid, good movies and everything. Like, good enough to get us to the next movie, basically. And then after First Avenger was the actual Avengers movie, and that just basically, man, that changed everything. It was so awesome. Everybody loved it. It was just epic. It was like one of those times, we still aren't gonna get a time like that ever again in our lives. Maybe till like Star Wars or something like that comes out, but like even Age of Ultron couldn't live up to the hype of the first one, because the first one had basically impossible hype. It was the first crossover movie between all the movies, so basically you're trying to redo that again with the same characters and stuff like that. You're kind of living up to impossible hype. But the one thing the Avengers kind of did that kind of messed up the rest of the Marvel Phase 2 movies was they showed Thanos. And the only reason why I think they messed up showing Thanos is basically because they basically showed their cards of who the big bad guy is going to be, like, throughout the whole universe to the end. Like, basically they let us know that Thanos at the very end is going to be the bad guy they are going to have to go against. So basically, like, knowing that, basically every other villain that we see is going to basically be just another villain until we reach Thanos. Unless like there's a villain out there that has strong ties to Thanos, you're really just like, okay, just he was a villain, okay. Just like that's why I think like in every Phase 1 Marvel movie, like the villains were pretty solid. Like Jeff Bridges, Tim Roth, and then Iron Man 2 had Mickey Rourke and Sam Rockwell, and then in Thor you had Loki, and then the first Avenger you had Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. Like, those were all solid characters and solid villains. And then in the Avengers, you had Loki again, and which was like, yeah, again, it was awesome. But then Iron Man 3, you had Ben Kingsley to be the Mandarin, well, thought to be the Mandarin. And then they just completely switched it up, and it was just like, okay, like, no, that's just not cool. Fucking, yeah. So just I don't even want to talk about it. Oh my god. I only seen that movie once, and that was good enough for me. Iron Man 3, not a fan of that one. Thor: The Dark World. That movie was okay. Again, it was just another like a good enough movie to get us to the next movie. But Malekith, just again another like villain was just like, okay, just beat him and then move on to the next one. Yeah, like that's really how it was. The only like villain that was actually pretty good and throughout the whole thing was Robert Redford. Like in Winter Soldier, and he was like only partially he was the main villain, but like Bucky Barnes and Winter Soldier did most of the badassery as a villain and anti-hero. So like yeah, so you can't even give full credit to Robert Redford because he didn't really do anything like as himself, plotting and like behind the scenes and everything like that. Yeah, he did the damn thing, but like as kicking ass and everything, taking charge, he was like he wasn't there for that. That was all Bucky Barnes, who now is going to be, hopefully, soon going to be. Actually, I'm not even going to say because some people don't even know, so I don't want to spoil anything. But all right, then you have Guardians of the Galaxy, Ronan the Accuser. I was digging him so bad, yo. Like he looked like seriously. You're telling me if like you saw Ronan the Accuser, well, if you're walking down the aisle, you see Ronan the Accuser standing with his hammers, boom, you're not going to be like. Okay, I'm gonna turn around. I thought he looked like really like menacing and could intimidate. Like, yo, I was like, yo, the makeup and everything, like, yo, he looked crazy. But then that movie, that's when like it really came in like in my head that like, yeah, Thanos is really the one who's messing up all these villains because they throw Thanos in the middle of the movie and he basically just puts Ronan on his lap and makes him look a bitch. Like, sorry, but like basically he's all like, yeah, you negated my daughter and shit like that, and I'm just trying to help you and stuff. You're like a little pawn and everything. You're not really anything, and next time I'll kill you or some shit. Like just that was the one. Like that just kind of ruined like Ronan from then on because you knew he wasn't. Like it just basically reminds you like he's not the real bad guy. Thanos is the real bad guy through all of this. So basically just. Yeah, you're still going to have to wait for Thanos to show up. And that sucks because I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite. Regardless, even of that, I still like Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel Universe, hands down. I still haven't seen Ant-Man yet. I plan on seeing them this week. And yeah, but still, it kind of took away from Ronan in that movie, and it was kind of just, damn, okay. Next, we had Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, I fell asleep in that movie. And I actually liked it. That's the crazy thing. Like, I liked the movie. I rewatched it, and I liked, like, every bit of it. And I messed up her. I slept for, like, a good half an hour. I missed a lot. And I still, even after the first time I fell asleep and I watched it, I still enjoyed the movie overall. And the second time, I enjoyed it the second time more. Because the first time I saw it, I thought it was going to be more of a dark movie. That, like, maybe we're going to see an Avenger die or something like that. But that wasn't the case. It was just... at the end, basically a big CGI fight that just people kind of got like bored of and stuff because nothing bad's gonna happen. So it's basically just watch the CGI happen and stuff. Only person who died was Quicksilver, but he was introduced in the movie and then killed in the movie, so it wasn't really nothing like too effective outside of that movie, of the universe. Just like the villains, like what I was saying, like Ultron. I was hoping maybe they were gonna have like a little hint of Ultron left or something like that. Maybe a little bit of him escaped, because Ultron, like, yeah, he's somewhat of he's a big deal too. So you know, you kind of want him still to be around and stuff, but no, like basically you thought you were gonna get this dark ass fucking Spader voice and just like him gonna come in and wreck everybody, but like he got taken out by almost every event. Like freaking Scarlet Witch took him out, Vision took him out, Iron Man took him out. Like it was just like he was just like, it wasn't really that intimidating or menacing. He was more of a funny guy, which is not bad, but it's not like anything that will like have people worried about anything. It's just basically, all right, the next villain, another villain till the next movie. And yeah, and I still, again, I haven't seen Ant-Man, so I can't really say anything about the villain in Ant-Man yet. But hopefully this is the one that breaks my whole theory, because again, I wouldn't mind to be wrong about this, because like, yeah, and let me just give I'm done on that. Just let me give my overall score. Marvel Phase 1 movies, I give it a solid like 4 out of 5 stars, whatever. Yeah, just because like it definitely did lay the groundwork. Like all the movies that laid the groundwork up to Avengers, like they did their jobs. They were pretty good. And then Phase 2, again, I haven't seen Ant-Man yet, but Phase 2 I will give. If Ant-Man is as good as people say it is, most likely it'll be like a 4.5. I think Phase 2 is better than, even though I think the villains were like a little, like not as good as the Phase 1 villains, I still think Phase 2 movies were like pretty more solid than the other ones, because you know the first two Phase 2 movies you started off with were Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World, were kind of like okay, but then you got Captain America: Winter Soldier. Then you got Guardians of the Galaxy, then you got Age of Ultron, and then you got Ant-Man. Those are like 4 big movies that are like universally like loved by people now. So like definitely Phase 2 definitely did make up for its like lack of villainous and stuff. But hopefully in Phase 3 that's not the case. Hopefully in Phase 3 they kind of try to utilize all their villains and stuff, because like again, like another, like one of my favorite villains who I haven't seen like in a while, and probably I hope we see in Captain America: Civil War, is Red Skull. Hugo Weaving was the actor who did Red Skull, and he said that he did not want to come back. He was done with that, which is kind of a shame too, because I really liked what he did and his character in the First Avenger, the Captain America: First Avenger, and just. Hopefully they bring him back somehow, because he was like one of my legit like favorite villains of the first phase besides Loki. And yeah, I'm really can't wait to see Ant-Man. I love Paul Rudd and heard it's funny, and like just can't wait to see that. I especially can't wait to see Captain America: Civil War. It's basically Avengers 3, and I think that's gonna be awesome. And especially with the tone that the Russo brothers now are bringing to like the cinematic universe, Joss Whedon basically had like the funny tone and stuff, and now the Russo brother basically gonna take us down like that grim, like darker, edgier, just like you saw with Captain America 2: The Winter Soldier. It was kind of a darker, kind of more suspenseful thriller type of spy like movie. Like the rest of these movies, I think are gonna have like a little bit more edgier to them and stuff now. No offense to Joss Whedon, but what he did was awesome. I like his comedy is my comedy. I love his comedy. But now that we're hitting Phase 3, I think this is the time where we're gonna hit like the edgier movies and the darker tones, and like maybe start seeing some actual people dying and stuff like. So yeah, that's what I think about the Marvel movies so far. And yeah, just hopefully Phase 3 doesn't disappoint on the villains, because the heroes, they're getting all the heroes right. They're getting all the movies right. They just really need to focus on the villains. And yeah, so that's what I think about the Marvel movies so far. And if you guys agree, disagree, just let me know. Leave a like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe. You're going to get a lot more of these videos, me talking about stuff. And hopefully my next video is probably going to be on DC, because, you know, I do a lot of Marvel stuff, so I definitely got to do my fair share of DC videos. So look out for that. And alright guys, take it easy. Peace.